And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beyond Questions. See, we made it today.
Yeah.
Tom Butler.
Lou.
And Matt Bossman live from Lakeland's Lake Effect Radio. Beautiful day out there. It is 86 degrees and sunny with... oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
that's Florida, my bad. Anyway, we're in Ohio.
Yeah.
Right, Tom? Yeah, it's pretty bad outside. It's probably about 40 now.
Maybe.
My phone said 34, and then I went outside. I'm like, there's no way it's 34. It's got to be warmer. Because, like, all the snow... It was, like, snowing when I got up.
Yeah.
And then, like, it stopped snowing, and I figured, okay, and it's raining. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it was like when I left today, it was practically like a mix of like freezing rain and hail. It was not fun to be out in.
Yeah, welcome to Ohio, where it was 70 degrees 2 days ago.
Exactly.
Anyway, so going to talk sports today, obviously. That's what we do on this show. Starting with your Cleveland Browns. We're going to talk a little draft today and what the Browns should do in the offseason. March 4th or 6th. One of those days, starts free agency.
Okay.
And the Browns have a decision to make with Isaiah Crowell. First of all, would you bring him back? I would say no.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I mean, that's a lot of cap. That'll save you cap space.
Oh, yeah. And obviously one of the people the Browns would be looking at is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, and I think he's perfect for our scheme.
Yeah. And if we re-sign Crowell, I think that means that Barkley is out of the running for any of the picks that the Browns have, which would be upsetting if you're a Browns fan.
I don't even think it would be upsetting. I think it would just be dumb.
Yeah.
There's a few things that...
well, it would be upsetting if you're the fan base. It would be dumb if you're the front office. That would be my take.
You know, I personally think that Crowell is just... to me, it feels like he's a system running back. Like, if he went to the right team, he could be, speaking in fantasy language here, he could be a top 10 fantasy running back. Yeah. As they projected him to be last season just because of Kaiser being a rookie. But I really believe that, in the sense of Isaiah Crowell, he's just not good.
No,
he's just not good.
Could I see him playing well somewhere else? Absolutely, like with the Patriots, because that's what they do with running backs.
Right. And Deion Lewis.
Yeah,
perfect example.
Yeah,
and LeGarrette Blount, who was not supposed to be anything, and then he went to the Patriots and won a Super Bowl, and then went on.
Well, I always figured LeGarrette Blount would be good just because he's a much larger running back.
Yeah, and he's quick,
so you can use him in like. Short yardage situations, goal line situations. Mm-hmm. It makes him, even though it's like that's what he would be best at in the NFL.
Right,
I'm sure that's not what he wanted to be considered.
Right.
But that's just what NFL teams do now
Crowell
with running backs.
Alabama State. Nobody comes out.
Well, Crowell went to Alabama State after it being let go, I think, from Georgia.
Okay. Why do we get all of these like troubled players? Josh Gordon kicked out of Baylor. Welcome to the Browns. Yeah. Isaiah Crowell kicked out of Georgia. Welcome to the Browns. Like, I mean, what is this? What is our mentality? Like, we are going to be the rehab for college athletes. That is Cleveland. Let them screw their own lives up. Goodness gracious. Anyway, so. But I personally believe Crowell should not re-sign. Now, and I don't think the Browns should franchise tag him, which is what some people have been talking about.
No.
Definitely not.
Goodness.
Yeah, definitely not.
Like because the thing about the franchise tag is it averages out the top 5 running backs contracts.
Right. It's
just in
ridiculous.
Case nobody knew how the franchise tag worked.
I didn't even know that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like they average out the top 5 running back contracts and give them that contract.
So there's been another name.
That's what they've been talking about with Le'Veon Bell.
Right, and he said he's going to retire if they do that to him. That's my favorite thing. Is like this guy that's injury prone. He's a great running back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If he's healthy, he's a top 3, top 4, top 5 running back. Yeah. But that was great. Le'Veon Bell, will they franchise tag? How would you feel about getting franchise tagged for a second year? I'd rather die or retire than
be franchise tagged for a second.
That's great. That's great.
Because
you're making millions of dollars, so one way or another. That's great that you're that selfish. But okay. Anyway, so talking about now moving forward for the Browns. The Browns have a few options now if they get rid of Crowell and some other guys, and even if they don't. They have an option to get Kirk Cousins. Yes. We were trying to get Alex Smith, and then he was traded to the Redskins. I heard that we tried to reach out to the Chiefs for Alex Smith, but we didn't know that they were going to trade him.
Okay.
We didn't know that he was on the block. So we had been thinking that was going to be the case, but we didn't actually know that for a fact until like the Redskins were like, yeah, we just got Alex Smith. Okay. Like, it was kind of like, all right, well, darn. But
because that's typical Browns fashion.
Yeah, that's typical Browns. But Kirk Cousins is a big name. He's from Washington. Going to be a free agent this year. He wants to get paid, and he will, whoever gets him. So looking at that and taking all that into consideration, there's a couple teams, a lot of teams actually, that want Kirk Cousins other than the Browns. So we'll stick with the Browns. But the favorite right now is Denver. Denver is the team that's going to make the biggest push. The New York Jets said they would spend whatever he wants, but no one wants to play for that team.
Right. There's too much. I would say there's a whole bunch of drama in New York, but there's a whole bunch of drama in Cleveland right now, too.
Also, the Arizona Cardinals are looking because Carson Palmer retired.
Okay.
And also the Giants, if I'm not mistaken.
New York Giants?
Yeah, the New York Giants.
I figured the New York Giants would be more interested in taking a quarterback with one of their picks.
I believe that's going to happen. I just think the Giants were like, well, if he decides to come here, whatever. Yeah. But so anyway, looking at all of this, where do you think is the best destination for Kirk Cousins? What do the Browns have to do to get him, and where do you see him landing?
The Browns would obviously have to give him one of the
money.
Yeah, yeah, because nobody would want to come to Cleveland just for the fun of it.
Right.
Although we could try to say at least we've had Josh Gordon for a little bit, because we do have a little bit of assets.
Right.
To coming our way, because we can have. Because we have the first and fourth overall picks.
Right.
So if Kirk Cousins were to say, could you draft a wide receiver?
I didn't know if that was yours.
Yeah, it's mine. Okay. If Kirk Cousins says, can you draft a wide receiver with one of your picks? I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. I would too, but I also don't want like the Cavs situation to go into the Browns where one player controls who we draft.
Yeah.
Where one player's like, all right, in order for me to succeed, you need to do this. No. We're the organization. We will give you the pieces of the puzzle, put them together.
Yeah.
That's how I feel it should be, but
yeah. I mean, I can understand, like, I wouldn't want Kirk Cousins to make the first overall pick.
Right.
I can consider,
but that's going to be Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley would.
Barkley makes sense. The fact that Mel Kiper Jr., who I've learned over my years of watching the NFL draft, is an idiot.
Yes. Early on, he was okay, but now recently he's.
Well, the fact that he wants us to take Josh Allen at 1, I'm fine with Josh Allen. Yeah. I'm perfectly fine with that, but at 4, not at 1.
I prefer just about anybody over Sam Darnold right now.
I would prefer anybody over Darnold, Rosen. Pretty much that's it. Lamar Jackson, I don't think he'd fit here.
No.
But I would love Baker Mayfield. I would love Baker Mayfield just because of the attitude that he brings. Everyone, I've been getting a lot of hate on social media for this when I've been putting Baker Mayfield and Barkley to the Browns as a dream Browns situation, and also getting Kirk Cousins, because I think Cousins could develop Mayfield's pocket passing ability.
Yes.
That's there. And Mayfield isn't, go out
he isn't a typical pocket passer.
Right. He's mobile, but he's also, he has the ability to throw the ball downfield and accurately. Mm-hmm. But also, a lot of people are like, well, they even asked the man himself, Johnny Manziel, does Baker Mayfield remind you of yourself? And he's like, no, we're two completely different people. Like, to me, it's funny that...
Yeah, it's like Johnny Manziel completely ruined his own career with the Browns.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily see that with Baker Mayfield.
See, the thing that I found very hilarious was that Manziel said in a post on Instagram, when the Browns finally, the day or right after the game against Pittsburgh when we went 0-16, when we lost that game, Kaiser threw it to Coleman, he dropped it, and we lost the game. Manziel immediately put on a Browns shirt or post a picture of him in a Browns warm-up like, Nike shirt,
Yeah.
and he was going like this, and he said
he's coming back to
0-16.
play.
No,
Yeah.
he said 0-16 SZN, like season.
Okay.
And then somebody said, "Is this supposed to be like hate towards the Browns, or is this supposed to be like you guys can do better? I love the organization." And Johnny said, "I have nothing but hate for that city and its fans and its organization. I wish them the worst."
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what, Johnny? I'm like, you know what, Johnny? And so
considering you're not even playing in an NFL franchise right now, how you don't deliver any hate? And you actually start playing.
Right. And my favorite thing is like a Canada team owns his rights if he decides to play football again. I mean, it's like, dude, you're literally like, if I'm going to raise my children when I have kids, if I have boys, and I'm going to be like, hey, look, all right, so you guys are going to play football. Here's not who to emulate. Be like. Yeah, don't emulate this guy. Please, here, watch this and don't do that. And they'll be like, okay. It's like Johnny Manziel is honestly, like, I used to love this dude. Like, I thought he was going to be great.
In college, he was going to be,
In college, he won the Heisman. Like, I mean, he was great. But that just goes to show you that, they're two different levels of play. And I really believe that Johnny is... Like, I posted when I saw the comeback season, I said, Manziel, comeback season, more like rehab season. Like, I feel like Johnny should honestly just spend the rest of his life in, like, a mental institution.
Yeah, just away from the public.
The thing that did come out, which he's bipolar. He did admit that. He's bipolar. I get it. I understand that's an issue. But this is taking it to a whole new level. The way that he's done things his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You can blame, his personality, his attitude on that disorder, but you can't make that an excuse for every issue that he causes. You just can't do that.
Agreed.
So, the Cavs play tonight.
Yeah,
they're playing the Wizards at home.
Okay.
Larry Nance is excited. He wants to play at home, like under his dad's going to be there and all that. Jordan Clarkson, George Hill, Rodney Hood, LeBron.
Are the Browns, not the Browns, are the Browns still on a losing streak? Yes.
Yes.
Are the Cavs still on a winning streak?
Yeah.
Okay.
3.
I thought they were 4-0 maybe.
4, yeah. 3-0 since the new players. No, 2-0 since the new players. 4 total.
Okay.
Because everybody that was crazy was still on the team when we beat Minnesota. Yeah. Then the trades went down and we had like half of a team and we beat Atlanta. And then we beat Boston and then we beat Oklahoma City. Yeah. And then we went to the All-Star break. Okay. What do you think about the new guys in the sense of how they've been so far 2 games? I mean,
if this team gels
the way it is,
I'm all for it.
I was surprised that I
never saw the team gel like before the All-Star break.
I'm surprised that the team is doing as well as it is because of the fact that these are role players. These aren't stars. This isn't the Miami Heat from a couple of years ago. This is just
just a couple players,
guys you could pick up for $6 million in free agency. It's funny that it's just funny to me how Kobe Altman in his first year managed to listen to, like, at the beginning of the year, he listens to Dan Gilbert and trades Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like it was a win for the Cavs.
Yes.
You get Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, who's a big piece, Ante Zizic, who's a young, up-and-coming center. I mean, his potential's there. And that Brooklyn pick.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out 2 of those 3 guys have attitude problems out the wall. And Ante Zizic is all right, whatever. But that Brooklyn pick's huge. And we have this huge problem in the locker room, so Altman's like, all right, so that didn't work. How do we fix this now? All right, well, I'm going to trade everybody.
It's like, I'm
going to get rid of half the team.
But the key is to bring, he was bringing in players who are not known to be trouble.
See, this has a lot of... this was actually the perfect scenario in my mind, or one of the perfect scenarios that could have happened. First of all, you get young pieces. So if LeBron, jumps ship, then we still have the young pieces to build around. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't, this could last for the rest of his career. Like, these guys could be with him for the rest of his career. Maybe, maybe not George Hill, maybe, but because he's 31.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this could really be... Like, I'm... In my perfect scenario, what the Browns, the Cavs should do... The Cavs should keep the Brooklyn pick. They're going to now. Yeah. And they should draft Trae Young. I just think Trae Young would be a perfect piece of the puzzle at point guard, because then you could have George Hill mentor him, or, because George Hill's a good three-point shooter in himself. Mm-hmm. Start Trae Young, but have George Hill off the bench. Then you could have Clarkson. You could pay him or not pay him. You have Nance behind Love. You have, Rodney Hood and JR. You have all these guys now. You have depth. Yeah. And if you get Trae Young, regardless what happens this year, this is, we could...
Because that's
it could be cool. It could be cool.
That's why the Cavaliers did well in 2016. Because in 2016, we didn't go for, star players. We went for role players and created depth in the team.
Yeah. I mean, we
didn't necessarily have that last year.
Right. Kyrie, Darren Williams, right?
I think so.
Then J.R. Shump, but Shump played more. Then we got Korver.
Yeah.
Richard Jefferson behind LeBron. Fry behind Love. Mm-hmm. Tristan and... Or did Channing play behind Tristan?
Well, it was a weird piece.
I mean, he played both.
We didn't have, an actual center.
Yeah, he played both. That's what I think's been our main problem with the Warriors is a big time center. I think we were kind of stuck on the whole DeMarcus Cousins thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that was going to happen, and then he got hurt, and we were like, "Oh, what do we do?" And I'm thinking, dude, if you're hellbent on trading that Brooklyn pick, you go after Anthony Davis.
Yes.
You do everything you can to get Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. I mean, you trade Kevin Love. You trade...
Because, while DeMarcus Cousins seems like a good idea, he's also been known as a locker room nuisance.
But and a lot of people told me...
never been that, and Anthony Davis is the all-star you want at center.
Right. I mean, I feel that him and Tristan would have played very well together.
Oh, yeah.
DeMarcus at the 5 and Tristan at the 4.
I can imagine them getting double-doubles every night.
Yeah. I mean...
And that could have taken some of the stress off LeBron to keep scoring.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
See, I feel
that could prolong LeBron's career to have Anthony Davis.
I mean, I feel like this offseason, the Cavs should go after Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Because Kawhi Leonard, right here, I mean, we've been hearing about this all year, but now it's official. On return, he opts to remain out. He doesn't want to play. And then Popovich said this yesterday.
Okay.
We only have X number of games left in the season, and he's still not ready to go. And if by some chance he is, it's going to be pretty late into the season, and it's going to be a tough decision. How late to bring somebody back. So that's why I'm just trying to be honest and logical. I'll be surprised if he gets back this year.
Yeah, he said he'd be surprised if Kawhi's back this year.
Yeah.
And I personally think Kawhi is not happy because he was misdiagnosed by the team doctors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his so remember when Pachulia Zaza
the
piece of
that East European
I hate Zaza Pachulia. But he stepped on Kawhi Leonard's foot right after right after he came back from hurting his foot. First game, Leonard's dropping he dropped 30. It was the third quarter. The Spurs were up by 25 points in Oakland, and then Pachulia steps on Kawhi Leonard's foot purposely and hurts him again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was...
Though that injury combined with something else he injured on that play have kept him out this entire time.
Okay.
But they told him that you don't need surgery and you're fine, you can return. And then he did, and it hurt him even more. And then he went back and they're like, well, we don't know what's wrong with you. Like, imagine being told that. Like, we don't know
does not fly
what's
in
wrong with
today.
you. Yeah, that doesn't work. I mean, what is going on? Like, I don't get it. Is this like, is his quad? It's a quad injury.
Okay,
that's what they're calling it. Yeah. Is his quad like, disintegrating, or is I mean, what's going on? Like, is it did it spontaneously combust? Like, what happened? Yeah. I just don't get it, but I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see what this offseason has in store just throughout the NBA.
It's not even going to be interesting. It's sad because Kawhi Leonard was never the call out your teammates, for playing bad.
Right.
He was never a locker room nuisance. He has never done anything to bring attention to himself other than play well.
Yeah.
And that has been his persona about him. That's just so respectful.
I just think that the Spurs in general just bring that out of everybody.
Yeah, and it's weird
like,
because
whether that was Manu, Tony Parker,
right.
Tim Duncan especially.
It's just weird because it's the Spurs. They're respected. People look up to them. Younger players, LeBron said Popovich is the best coach of his era. Like, what happened? Like, is there a conspiracy against Kawhi Leonard or something? Like, I don't know. Like, what happened? I don't know. Did Kawhi, do something wrong?
No, I think the Golden State Warriors are just in everybody's head right now. I think that's.
I just think Pachulia is the only reason Golden State signed Pachulia was to injure other players.
Yes,
like, it's crazy. It's funny.
They needed somebody when Draymond was out continuously for getting suspended, and Zaza Pachulia is that answer.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's funny. It's funny because Pachulia. Oh God, I hate him so much. I really wish Pachulia would retire. Please retire. Yeah. Because now they have the center that they're looking for, Jordan Bell.
Okay.
I mean, Jordan Bell he's a power forward, really, but he can play center, and he's played well this year at center. He's just hurt right now, I think.
Okay.
So, well, can I go study?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I got a test in 2 hours that I got to study for.
That you really need to study for.
Yeah, I really need to do well in this class.
Just
all right, everybody.
Small show.
Small show today.
Studying is preferred over doing a radio show. That is beyond question.
Well, not in so many words. All right, bye, everybody.